Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Fareh Haikal and my student identification number is 102500014, and today I am going to deliver two parts in my presentation. In the first part, I will share my opinion about smoking around the campus area, a topic that many students can probably relate to. I'll be explaining my point of view, which is actually in the gray area, meaning I can see both the positive and negative side of smoking around campus. And then, in the second part, I'll continue with a short explanation about simple present, one of the most basic and important tenses in English grammar. I'll talk about how it works, when to use it, and give some simple example to make it easier to understand. So, let's begin with this first part, my opinion on smoking around the campus area. To begin, I want to be honest about my position. I'm in the gray area. That means I don't completely agree with smoking, but I also don't think it should be totally banned. I believe both sides have valid points, and the best solution is finding a balance between personal freedom and public health. On the one side, some people argue that smoking is a personal choice. Many students and staff smoke to relieve stress after long hours of studying or working. According to a study by the National Institute of Health, nicotine can temporarily improve focus and reduce anxiety level, which explains why some people depend on it when under pressure. So, from this perspective, smoking can be seen as a way to cope with stress or maintain concentration, as long as it's done responsibly and without disturbing others. However, on the other side, the negative impact of smoking cannot be ignored. Smoking affects not only the smoker, but also people around them through secondhand smoke. Research from the World Health Organization show that there is no safe level of exposure to secondhand smoke, and that passive smokers have a 25 to 30% higher risk of developing heart disease and lung problems. This is very concerning, especially in a shared environment like campus. In addition, smoking can damage the campus image and clean lines. Cigarette butts are one of the most common forms of litter worldwide, and according to the Environmental Protection Agency, they take up to 10 years to fully decompose, releasing toxic chemicals into the soil and water. A campus should represent discipline, education, and health, not pollution and unhealthy habits. Therefore, I believe the solution is not a total ban, but a balanced regulation. Campus could be provide designated smoking area away from academic building, library, and canteens. This idea is supported by research from the American Journal of Public Health, which found a university with clear smoking zone had 40% fewer complaints about secondhand smoke exposure. This showed that rules and respect can be consist. At the same time, universities should also promote education and awareness campaign about the dangers of smoking and provide provide counseling or stress management program. So students can find a healthier way to deal with pressure, such as sport, art, or maybe meditation. In conclusion, smoking around campus is not a simple yes or no issue. It's about finding balance, respecting personal rights while maintaining public health and a positive campus atmosphere. My opinion stands in the middle. I'm not fully against smoking, but I believe it needs clear boundaries and mutual respect. By understanding both perspectives, we can build a cleaner, safer, and more comfortable campus for everyone. I think that's my point of view about smoking area in smoking around campus area. We next to second part. Okay, we next to second part of my presentation. I will talk about one of the most basic but also the most important topic in English grammar. It is the simple present tense. Even though it's called simple, it's actually used all the time in daily life. When we talk about our habits, routines, facts, or even opinion. So, understanding how to use it correctly can really help us sound more natural and confident when speaking English. Today, I explain what the simple present tense is, when we use it, how to form positive, negative, and question sentence. And I also give some example to make it easier to understand. Okay, introduction. In this topic, I give you a short introduction about what we are going to learn. The simple present tense is used very often in daily conversation and writing. It helps us talk about habits, routines, and facts. So, understanding this tense will make our English more natural and accurate. The simple present tense is used to describe action that happen regularly or facts that never change. For example, if I say I go to campus every morning, it means I do it as a daily routine, not just once, but every day. Or when I say the sun rises in the east, it's a general truth that never changes. This tense is called simple because it doesn't show time duration or ongoing action. It is a basic statement of fact or habits. We use it to talk about things that are always true or that we repeat again and again in our life. In a definition, the simple present tense is used to express habits, routines, facts, or general truth. For example, I study English every day. It's a habit. The sun rises in the east. It's a fact. So, basically, when something happens regularly or is always true, we use the simple present tense. Whatever we talk about something that happens regularly or something that's always true, we use the simple present tense. It's not about something happening right now. It's about things that are true in general. We're gonna in function. We use simple present tense for several functions. The simple present tense has several important functions. First, we use to express habits, things we do regularly, such as I brush my teeth every morning or he smokes after lunch. And second, we use it for routines like I go to class at 8 o'clock or we study together on weekends. Third, we use it to talk about facts or general truths, things that are always true like water boils at 100 degrees Celsius or the sky is blue. And finally, we can also use it to express feelings, emotion, or opinions like I love music or I don't like spicy food. So, as you can see, the simple present tense is not only for action, it's also for expressing when we think, feel, or know. A positive sentence. The positive form is the simplest one. The basic formula is subject plus verb 1. For example, um, I study every night. 2. He studies every night. Be careful, many learners forget to add s for he, she, or it. Okay. However, when the subject is he, she, or it, we must add s or is to the verb. So we say he studies English. She plays football. The rule is small but very important. If we forget to add s or is, the sentence will sound incorrect to native speaker. So, when you're writing or speaking, always check the subject before choosing the verb form. Okay, we next about negative negative sentence. Okay, to make a negative sentence in the simple present, we use do not or does not before the verb. The formula is subject plus do or does plus not plus verb 1. For example, I don't smoke, she doesn't drink coffee. Notice something important here. When we use does not, we don't add s to the verb anymore. So we say she doesn't like coffee, not she doesn't likes coffee. Okay? She doesn't like coffee, not she doesn't likes coffee. This is one of the most common mistakes made by English learners. Just remember, when you already have does, the verb goes back to its base form. Okay, we next is question sentence. To make a question, we just move do or does to the front of the sentence. The pattern is do or does plus subject plus verb 1. Okay. For example, do you study English? Does he live near campus? If you want to answer shortly, say yes, I do, or no, I don't. It's easy once you get used to it. The pattern is very useful in every conversation because many questions in English use do and does. So once you master the structure, you'll be able to communicate it more easily. Okay, we next verbs form. When we use he, she, or it, we must add as or is to the verb. For example, most verbs add s, like play to plays, verbs ending in ch, sh, sx, o. It can add is, like watch is watches. Verbs ending in a consonant plus y change y to is, like study to studies. So be careful with the spelling. Okay, next we get the time expression. We often use the simple present tense with time expression that show how often something happens. These are called adverbs of frequency. Words like always, usually, often, sometimes, and never. For for example, she always arrives early. We sometimes eat at the canteen. We can also use parses like every day, every week, every month, or on Mondays. For example, we have English class every Monday, like something like that. This time expression help make our sentence more specific because they tell the listener how frequently the action happens. Okay, the next is comparison table. To make it clearer, let's compare the three forms of the simple present: positive, negative, and question. For example, take a sentence, she plays guitar. The positive form is she plays guitar. The negative form become she doesn't play guitar, and the question form is does she play guitar? If you look closely, you can see that only the helping verb does or doesn't change the structure, but the main verb play stay in its base form. Understanding this pattern help you build correct sentence quickly without confusion. Okay, next is example in daily life. Here are a few examples that show how to simple present is used in daily life, especially around the campus environment. Like I go to campus every morning, that's my daily routine. My friends smoke near the cafeteria, that's something that happens regularly. We study together after lunch, another repeated activity. As you can see, the sentences are all simple but meaningful. They describe habits, action, and routines that we can easily relate to in our daily student life. Okay, next. Okay, next we got a practice in here. Now let's do a quick exercise together. Try to fill the blanks using the correct form of the verb. He to class. They not or like coffee. And number three, you study English. This kind of practice is simple but it's very helpful. By repeating example like this, our brains automatically learn the pattern. So eventually we can use the correct tense without even thinking too much about it. Okay. It's number one is she goes to class. Goes ya. Goes pakai add s in the back. They don't like coffee. And do you study English? Yeah, that's the answer of this. Okay, next. It's connection to my first opinion. Let's connect to my first topic earlier, smoking around the campus area. We can describe that situation using the simple present tense too. For example, some students smoke near the campus. The university provides a smoking area. Non-smokers feel uncomfortable when they pass by. All these sentences are in the simple present because they describe situations that regularly happen. So this tense is not just grammar, it's something we can apply to real situation in our daily environment. Okay, next. It's common mistake. Let's look at some common mistake people make. He don't like coffee. He doesn't like coffee. She go to class. She goes to class. Even though it's called the simple present, many learners still make a small mistake. The most common ones are forgetting to add s or is and using the wrong verb from with doesn't. These mistakes are very small, but they can make a big difference. So always double check your verbs when you're writing or speaking, especially for he, she, and it. Next, summary and closing. To summarize everything, the simple present tense is used to talk about habits, facts, and routines. The basic structure is subject plus verb 1, and for he, she, or it, we add as or is. For negative and question sentence, we use do or does. Even though this tense looks easy, it's actually the foundation of English grammar and we use it more often than we realize. So if we can master the simple present, we'll be able to communicate our ideas, describe our routines, and express fact clearly and correctly. That's all, I think. Yeah, that's all for me. Thank you very much for listening to my explanation about the simple present tense. Thank you.